everybody. So I'm going to give you a sneak peek behind the Collector's Catacomb. So we're getting ready to go on the show in about a half hour. So we all get together usually about a half hour before. We log into the Google Hangout. We kind of put together a little plan. We're going to have a guest on tonight. We kind of get him going, make sure he's connected properly and has everything he needs. So if I'm going to do some screen sharing, I want to get my screen's ready in the background so I don't have to fool around with it and take some time. Get my headset plugged in, get my camera set up, get all the stuff that I'm going to show in boxes all surrounded around me here. So I think we're all doing that right now. I usually don't have much time when I get here after work. I just run in here and set up really big. I've set up a light so I can get a little better facial on there. So, I'm going to take you along with us here. You can see kind of behind the scenes, or at least from this end of things, how it goes. So we're logging into the Hangout right now.
Son's been pretty challenging and stuff, and so him and his wife end up going. Well, him and Kim end up going out to dinner to get away. So, oh really?
Hello.
Hey. Yep. Let me send up a text. Let's see.
So I'm doing a little something a little different tonight. I'm bringing in my my YouTube channel viewers to behind the scenes of the Collector's Catacomb.
Awesome. That's a great idea.
So say hi to all of the More Old Stuff YouTube YouTube viewers. I did a little intro, and hey, there's Sean. There's Eric with his glass of adult beverage.
You should tell me that before, so I'm dark and stormy. Just to need to prepare.
So yeah, this is how we prepare for a show. Everybody gets drunk, right? You wonder why we're so happy when the show starts, right?
I gotta keep all the off-air stuff PG now.
Just for a little bit. Just for a little bit.
Killing me, Dan. You're killing me.
Just for a little bit.
No words like "and."
So I thought I saw. Oh, okay. The other Eric's here, right? I saw him on there just a
Yeah,
second
he
ago.
said don't put his kids to bed.
Cool.
Yeah, so he'll be the new co-host on the show, or panel,
Awesome.
whatever you want to call it, coming starting next week.
Oh, cool. So he'll be on here with us. Great.
Yeah, so he'll be the guest this week, and then panel member next week because we lost Elena.
Yeah. Okay. Nice.
It's such a great job. Now you get a job.
Yeah. You show up. You show your face once.
Extensive military collection. Plus, he's got some other stuff, and he sources flea markets, thrift shops. And he doesn't do eBay, so that's like his only source
Yeah.
for his collection and stuff. So he sees and holds a lot of cool stuff. So I think he'll fit right in. And
Yeah, good.
He's not much of a reseller, but he's a property manager and works from home. So,
Okay. Cool.
so he fits in with the rest of us.
So there you go. We're introducing our new panel member, who's actually not there right now. He's invisible. Putting his kids to bed. Yeah, just go back over to the left side and yeah. And then the chat is at the top. So everybody, here we are again, doing some more stuff here.
Actually, I need to learn to type.
This is one of our new members. He's going to be joining us. His name's Eric. So we have an Eric with a C and an Eric with a K. And he's heavily into military collectibles and other stuff. But he's going to be our guest tonight so we can introduce him. And he has some really cool things to show you. He's acquired a very, very interesting collection. And he's going to be showing us that too. So you're going to be seeing it first if you watch the show. Okay, guys, so we're going live.
Hey, Eric, how do you say your last name?
Occasionally.
Occasionally. Oh, that's
It's
even.
vacation and vacation.
Welcome to the Collector's Catacomb, episode 15. Tonight we got an awesome guest with us, Eric Caishlin. He's going to be talking about Sweet 101st Airborne Division grouping, Screaming Eagles from World War II. Involved in some really cool stuff during the war. He's got some awesome photographs to show us, uniforms. I mean, it is just a great grouping tonight. And I didn't mute you two. There we go. Alright, so so we got him as our guest tonight. Another awesome thing is starting next week, he'll be a new panel member. Add another military panel member to the cast of characters here. And tonight we've got Dan with us, we've got Eric Caishlin with us, and we've got Sean Cooltoad so far. We're expecting to have Drew pop in. He's probably out back filming another shirtless video or something. But so hopefully he'll pop in with us, and then Chad had other business to take care of tonight, so hopefully we'll see Chad back next week, and to Chad be Trask back here. But other than that, we've got a great show tonight. My name is Eric Castle. I go by Tinkersville Relics, Tinkersville Retail. I manage the Allied Military Forum. I run the sourcingforum.com. I'm a big military collector. I specialize in the 38th Infantry Regiment, where my main focus is. And other than that, I collect some other stuff. So that's what we're going to be here tonight and every week talking about is stuff we collect and the history behind it. So without further ado, we'll slide over to Dan here. Let him introduce himself. Go ahead and tell everybody who you are, Dan.
Howdy, I'm Dan at More Old Stuff. That's my YouTube channel also. And I've got a new Facebook page. So just look for More Old Stuff on Facebook under pages. So I'm trying to be able to communicate with people a little better and not using my personal one, but kind of making it a group effort. And so I'll be putting all my individual pictures of my finds and all this kind of stuff there, as well as what I do on my YouTube channel. So we'll be building that up. I'll type it in the chat for you guys here a little bit later. And I'm doing a video right now. It's behind the scenes of Collector's Catacomb, and I got the camera going here and everything. So you guys are going to be part of the whole behind the scenes thing going on here. It's the first time I tried this, so it'll be on my channel coming up soon. So anyhow, I collect things. I do all kinds of military stuff. I do guy stuff. Radios is one of my specialties. Cameras is another thing. A lot of ephemera, paper stuff, and I'll be showing you some more goodies tonight. So welcome everybody.
Awesome, Dan. All right. And then we've got Sean Cooltoads who's here watching for your comments and questions tonight. So make sure you throw them out there and he'll get them to us. Sean, go ahead and introduce yourself. And
So that's how it goes. That's how it works.
I am Cooltoads.
I'm getting a little better at this.
I have a channel here on YouTube. And it's called Cooltoads as well. Sorry, my dog is bugging me. Also have a show on Friday nights, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. It's called The Toadcast. It's a very laid back, let your hair down, bar scene type of a show. We do have some content in there, but we also have a lot of fun in there too. We actually have a topic for a change. Just tomorrow. It's gonna be, are you following the herd, as in HERD? So, yeah. And also check me out at the National Resellers Advice, eBay and Amazon, or Amazon and eBay, on Facebook. And Catherine.com.
very cool, man. Very cool. Well, appreciate you being here with us tonight, Sean. And then our guest of the evening, Eric Caishlin, Mason K. He is one of my moderators over on the Allied Military Forum. So that's his handle over there, Mason K. And he's also got a Facebook group, Military Collectors of Delaware Valley. So we can all assume that he's probably from Delaware Valley. Is that about right, Eric?
That's about right. I'm from southeastern Pennsylvania, right outside of Philadelphia. So the Facebook page is for anybody in that area: New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware. We even let some New Yorkers in from time to time.
That's nice.
But, yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
myself. I've always been a collector. I actually, up until about maybe 6 years ago, was heavy into collecting comic books. Did that for quite a long time, and then made the
Check
jump
out the
over to
stuff this
military.
guy's got hanging on the walls behind
Now
him.
I'm, pretty
Lots of cool
heavy
guns
into
and
collecting
uniforms.
Military, from pretty much Spanish-American War up to Vietnam. I focus primarily on items that are named to individuals. My favorite part about collecting this stuff is researching individuals and learning their history, and that's pretty much it. So, hence why the grouping that I'm presenting tonight, which is probably one of my best groupings I've ever acquired. So I look forward to sharing it with everybody.
Over here, I watched the chat. So we got the chat going over here. This is how I talk to you guys on a second computer.
No worries, no worries.
That's why I turn around sideways a lot.
Let people get to know who you are and why you collect. So you touched on all that, which is great. So we'll just lean right into your grouping. Do you want to maybe start with talk about another chunk of the grouping? But right now we'll slide on over to Dan. What you got for us tonight, Dan?
Hello. Okay, so I collect radio stuff, and this past week I kind of came upon a cool estate sale where the guy was a radio fan, so I pulled in a bunch of parts and pieces. So I thought I'd show some of these little things that I got. He was a ham radio and CB radio operator. I got these handheld microphones, and kind of cool off of old radios. This one doesn't have the plug on it. And here's another one. This is an older microphone. This one's kind of neat because it is it's a handheld mic. Oh crap! I just got my headset wire caught in there. This is out of it was an airplane set. It's made by Narco, and they make airplane radios. So this is a microphone for an airplane, and plus it has that kind of a plug. The quarter-inch jacks are used for airplane stuff. And I got some other cool desktop mount stuff. So this is an old General Electric ham radio, push-to-talk button down here, kind of thing.
I'd like some.
This is a power. It's a little bit of a power transistorized power amp inside of it.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Was it that one?
Right.
Almost all those old
No.
school movies.
Yeah,
And
sorry, go ahead.
so we got this, and this is kind of a cool one. These are all metal. This one's metal, by the way. It's really heavy.
Looks heavy.
It's got a nice look to it. And
Love that 50s look to it. The greenish blue,
yeah, then I got one of these.
That one's cool.
Yeah,
Like a Radio City Music Hall type thing or
yeah.
something.
It's really not old. I don't know if they make these anymore. This model may be from maybe the 80s or whatever. But this is a real popular CB and ham radio. The push to talk is either here, where you can hold it and talk this way, or this here. It's got this cool
I was
emblem,
going to say, what's that on the back?
emblem on the back. This is
yeah, it's kinda like that.
Ecstatic Silver Eagle is the name of this microphone.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. It is missing a screw right here though. After I picked it up, I realized it was missing that, but anyhow, and it's got a little Silver Eagle logo on there. So anyhow,
What do you think that dates to?
I think this might be from maybe the 80s or something like that. I don't know if I didn't check to see if they still make these today. Some of the ones I saw being sold being sold new in the box. There were quite a few of them, so they must. I wonder if they still make those or not. One of the things I got in that lot was this little guy. It's been sitting in the background here. It's called Selectatina. So what this is it's a antenna booster basically for an AM radio. But you notice there's no connectors, so you don't plug anything into this. And what you do is you have an AM radio tuned to whatever your frequency is, and you just set this down near your radio. And I don't know if I could adjust this here. I don't have a big enough radio to show you. But anyhow, then once you set it down there and you'll hear the signal, and you can tune this, that it tends to, it's got that theory where, you know, when you go up to a radio and you put your hand on it or close to it, you act as the antenna, and the signal boosts because of that. That's the same theory. This one though is more precisely tuned, so you can tune closer to the frequency that your frequency of your radio is sitting on, and it actually boosts it by supposedly 30 decibels. So it'll bring it up about 30 decibels more than what your radio would normally be, an AM radio. So basically you set this on top. I think you have to set it within 6 or 8 inches of the radio for it to work. Yeah, they don't sell these anymore, and I'm getting like 2 of these. So I'm adding this to my collection because it's kind of a cool radio piece. Probably from the 60s. That's what these are. There's all the instructions are on the bottom of it too. I think they were made in Wisconsin. But it's kind of a cool little device. Big giant box of slides. And I've been kind of going through them a little time, but in there was this section of these slides. So they're stereo, they're called realist stereo transparencies, 3D stereo, they're called 3D stereo. The viewer, I don't know if you can see this, the viewer for these was a little handheld, it looked like a little pair of binoculars, and you put these in, and when you look through, and I don't have a viewer, and I've been trying to find one. I'm probably going to buy one on eBay just so I can look at these the way they truly were meant to be looked at. Because I'm, holding them up to the light or scanning them, you're only seeing the regular image, which is okay. But when you look at both, you get a 3D effect. So you get this depth field feel to it whenever you're looking at it. There it is. So the ship he's on, see they're running like fuel lines across to refuel this ship. So he might have been on a refueling ship.
So cool, man. It's just, I don't know how you do it, Dan. It must be the California luck.
Well, I tell you, I found this. It was in one of these. Let me get back over here. So I was in Salvation Army, actually. And there was a whole pile. Let's see if this will shift back. There's a whole pile of these, and this.
Yeah, I always see them, but they're already emptied out.
Yeah, I always shake them to see if they rattle, because the carousel will have slides in them. But I went through. This is almost empty. I haven't gone through. And these are more pictures that came with those ones. These pictures are just scenes from Japan from 1953, and also when you get slides that have this red border on them. That red border means they did this red border in the 50s, just before, I think before 1959 or something like that, or 60, they started making the slides that were just white cardboard. So these are called red border slides. So you see those, it's an old slide. I paid $2 for this. I know there's not supposed to mention anything, but I paid $2 for it. Yeah. Now, you go through thousands of these, and maybe you get one good reel like this, because the rest of them are all like watching people's home movies, It's like boring Christmas pictures and baby pictures and grandma and grandpa and, everybody and all that kind of stuff, which is pretty boring. But you got to go through a lot of slides sometimes to find this kind of stuff. So anyhow, I think that's about it. I don't have anything. Oh, wait, one thing. I got one more thing.
Dan, I said Drew. That's getting late.
So I got this. I got this at an auction, and I haven't really taken it and looked at it. The cord's a little wonky. It's getting a little bad, but this is a field radio, and I haven't done any cleanup on it. This is the way I found it in here, and I think this is like a where did I see the date on this? Was one of the earlier ones. Well, not quite the earlier ones. The what was it with the leather? They started putting them in, they started taking them out of leather and putting them in canvas, I believe, because they started getting in Japan, or in the Pacific area, because of the humidity, it would get really wet inside of here. The humidity in the leather would just kind of hold it, and it would get wet and it would corrode it really fast. And I think they started, sometime in the middle of the war, they started going to more of the canvas. But this is a little bit. They started with the leather first, I guess. What I read about it. But I collect Signal Corps stuff, so this goes on my radio field desk and just kind of as is. I don't even think I'm going to mess with it. I'm going to clean up.
Cool. I think I'd find them in my house.
Yeah, see the wire is the old rubber from 1940, right? And it just pretty much deteriorates. It's actually a really brittle, hard. If I were to pull this out, it would just drop all over the place. And has this on E8B, and then here's the top. It actually had, you can see in there, there's a place for batteries. It had a battery pack or I don't. It's bigger than a D cell, so it's like
There's no crank on this. You can't use it for a torture device.
Oh yeah, you can. Right here.
Oh, there it is. There's the crank.
Yeah. So you pull this out, give this a whirl, and you put your tongue on this.
There you go.
That's how you tell if it works.
I think we're gonna do an electrifying YouTube video about that.
So okay. So what this is, what we're talking about for people who don't know, this is like a generator. This actually generates a current. And it'll generate a current pretty high voltage actually if you get going with it. And you could get shocked on this. But what it is, this is what they would run wires. Because this is not wireless. They'd run wires, and when you crank this thing, it basically sends a current to activate the other phone. But then the batteries were there for the actual communication piece, talking to whoever's on the other end. But pretty cool.
Awesome. I shot my video this week where I found 3 signatures from a Civil War officer, Colonel John B. Meade, M.E.A.D., and he's from the 8th Regiment out of Vermont. And he was born in 1831 and died in 1887. And he fought in all sorts of really important historic battles in the Civil War. And he worked his way up from like lieutenant, and then he was I don't know if he jumped sergeant, captain, major, and then finally a colonel. And let me show you his signatures here. There's 3 of them. This first one, they're all called cut signatures. They're cut off of other documents. So these would have been on other documents. I don't know whether they were letters or I have no idea if it was business or have no idea. But it's just what you want to see in a period autograph. It's got that aged brown look on the paper, and then the ink that was made out of, that had a lot of iron oxide in it, would turn brown like that. So black ink way back then turned brown after 150 years, you know? Right. Now, not only did I find that one, but on the same piece of paper, this was attached. This has 2 John B. Meade signatures. And this one's possibly even older. I'm telling you, California guys just killed us. Look at the beautiful, graceful quality of that penmanship. And a couple things that my one viewer brought up something that he thought that these didn't match, but I pointed out that people over time, their signature changes. And say for instance, this signature right here, there's a little whoop-de-doo down here at the bottom right here. He apparently puts this little symbol next after his name. Right. Well, this guy up here did the same thing. Well, not only that, I mean, people would really have to look into signatures and how people authenticate them. And, you know, I know enough to be dangerous, but one of the biggest things is they look for slight characteristics that are similar and have signatures that look almost completely different, but there is going to be handwriting characteristics that they use, both of them, that will link them together, if that makes sense. And like like you mentioned, Drew, about one being older and one being newer, that is the case, especially when, maybe not so much Civil War, but when you talk about sports figures, generally the more famous they became, the worse their signature became, because they were doing more and more signing, so they were being sloppier and sloppier with it, so their signatures changed over time.
Totally, Eric. And what's
But again, also it could have been the situation. I mean, you talk about a document that might have been signed before or after or during the heat of battle, might be a little bit more haphazardly done than, say something like signing as a formal declaration.
There you go. So that's kind of how it goes from behind the scenes. Nothing really fancy. Just kind of sit here and do a show and tell and set up your computer, get a video camera, and go for it. So if you are a collector and you have something that you've collected a week, a year, or whatever, and you want to come on the show, like give you 15 minutes or whatever it takes, and you could be a guest actually for 30 minutes. So hit up Eric. Also sign up for the Collectors Catacomb. There's a Facebook page, Collectors Catacomb. When we announce all of these, you can subscribe to this channel, Collectors Catacomb. Also, I got a Facebook page it's called More Old Stuff. I'll post stuff there, my finds and that kind of stuff, and subscribe to my YouTube, and we'll keep doing more of these good videos. Thanks a lot for hanging in there and bearing with me as we go through the behind the scenes of the Collector's Catacomb.